Somewhere deep inside the mountains, hidden from maps, hidden from tourists, and hidden from history itself, there's a village where nobody grows old. Children become adults. Adults reach their 30s. But after 40, something impossible happens. Wrinkles stop forming. Hair never turns gray. Skin never sags. Bodies never weaken. And according to local legend, this has been happening for centuries. Scientists try to study it. Most left confused. A few never returned because the villagers protect a secret buried beneath the ground, a secret connected to a cave no outsider is allowed to enter. But the strangest part, nobody in the village lives past 43. Not one. Tonight, we uncover the terrifying truth behind a village where time stopped moving. If you enjoy mystery stories inspired by legends, forgotten places, and terrifying secrets hidden from the world, subscribe now. Because tonight's story only gets darker from here to in October of 1998. Investigative journalist Daniel Mercer received a package with no return. Address. Inside was a photograph. At first glance, it looked ordinary. A family standing in front of a farmhouse. A smiling mother. A father holding a lantern. 3 children staring directly into the camera. But then Daniel noticed something impossible. The date point 1943. The people in the image looked exactly the same age as the people standing outside the post office in the nearby modern town. Same faces, same eyes, same expressions. No aging. At first, Daniel assumed it was a coincidence. But then another photograph arrived. This one dated 1911, that the same family. Still unchanged. That was when Daniel boarded a train heading north. The final note attached to the package read, "Come before the snow arrives." After that, the village disappears. The journey took 2 days. But according to the locals in the nearest town, Daniel should have turned back. Nobody visited the mountain village after sunset. Truck drivers avoided the road. Hikers disappeared. Animals refused to enter the forest. One old mechanic even told Daniel, "The mountain keeps what it wants." Still, Daniel continued. The deeper he drove into the mountains, the stranger the world became. Road signs vanished. Radio signals dissolved into static. The temperature dropped unnaturally fast. And then he noticed something terrifying. The same woman appeared 3 separate times along the roadside, always standing still, always smiling, always holding flowers. But she never aged, not even in the old photographs posted at gas stations. Daniel finally reached the village just before midnight. There were no lights, no electricity, no modern technology. Yet every house looked perfectly maintained. And every villager staring at him from the darkness looked no older than 40. If this story already feels unsettling, wait until Daniel discovers what's hidden underneath the village. And if you're still watching right now, comment. Time waits for nobody. The village elder introduced himself as Elias. He looked perhaps 38 years old. Strong, healthy, calm. But according to village records, Elias was born in 1892. Daniel initially believed the records were forged until he noticed every gravestone in the cemetery. Nobody buried that was older than 43. Not one. Daniel asked the villagers how this was possible, but nobody answered directly. Instead, they explained the rules. Rule 1, that never leave the village after sunset. Rule 2, never enter the lower caves. Rule 3, when the bell rings at midnight, lock every door. Daniel laughed. That night, he stopped laughing at exactly midnight. A bell echoed across the mountains. Every villager immediately froze. Candles were extinguished, doors slammed shut, windows covered. And from somewhere beneath the village, Daniel heard breathing. Massive, wet, slow. Something ancient was awake underground. Years before Daniel arrived, a medical researcher named Dr. Helena Ward visited the village. Unlike others, Helena stayed for 6 months. Her journals would later become one of the most disturbing scientific documents ever recovered. According to Helena's notes, the villagers possess impossible biology. Their cells regenerated faster than normal humans. Their DNA showed almost no degradation. Bones healed within days. Skin repaired overnight. And most terrifying of all, their blood contained microscopic black particles never identified by science. Helena believed the particles originated from underground water sources. Water connected to forbidden caves. The villagers drank from the caves every month during secret ceremonies. They called it the renewal. Helena secretly collected a sample point 3 days later. Her hair stopped turning gray. Within 2 weeks, scars disappeared from her body. But the transformation came with nightmares, visions, voices, whispers coming from underground. And then Helena wrote one final sentence before disappearing forever. It isn't preserving them, it's feeding through them. Would you drink from the cave if it meant staying young forever? Be honest, because Daniel was about to face that exact choice. Daniel began noticing something strange about the children. There were very few of them, and none appeared older than 10. When he asked Elias about this, the elder's smile vanished. Finally, an old woman whispered the truth. Children born in the village stop aging after 10 years old, forever, unless they participated in the renewal ceremony at 40. Without the ritual, the body froze permanently. Not dead, not alive, trapped. Daniel eventually discovered an abandoned house hidden near the edge of the forest. Inside were dozens of child-sized beds, and in each bed, perfectly preserved children lay sleeping, their chests still moving, eyes twitching beneath closed eyelids, waiting. The villagers called them the Unchosen. On the 7th night, Daniel followed the villagers into the forbidden tunnels. The caves stretched for miles beneath the mountain. Ancient symbols covered the walls, symbols older than any known civilization, and deep below the earth, Daniel found a massive black organism embedded into stone, not fully alive, not fully dead. Its surface pulsed slowly like breathing flesh. Thousands of roots extended from its body into underground rivers. The villagers knelt before it. Then Elias finally explained the truth. Centuries earlier, starving villagers discovered the creature beneath the mountain. Those who drank from water surrounding it stopped aging. Disease vanished. Injuries healed. But eventually, the creature demanded something in return. Every 40 years, it consumed one villager completely. Body, mind, memory. And if the sacrifice stopped, everyone in the village would rapidly age at once. Daniel watched in horror as Elias stepped forward. The elder had reached 43. His time had come. Elias approached the creature calmly and no fear, no resistance. Because according to villagers, becoming part of the organism meant becoming eternal. The cave opened, not metaphorically. The stone itself unfolded like flesh. Dark tendrils emerged, wrapping around Elias slowly. And then something horrifying happened. Daniel saw faces moving inside the creature. Thousands of faces, all still conscious, all trapped. The missing hikers, the vanished scientists, the villagers sacrificed over centuries, still alive inside it. Elias screamed, not from pain, from regret. Then the creature absorbed him completely, and the entire cave began breathing faster because it had sensed Daniel, an outsider, fresh, new. If you made it this far, subscribe now, because the ending of the story changes everything you thought you understood about the village. Daniel ran. The tunnel shook violently behind him. Villagers screamed. The cave howled. And suddenly, people began aging, rapidly. Hair turning white, skin collapsing, bones cracking. The creature had been sustaining everyone. Without Elias' balance was broken. Daniel reached the surface just before sunrise. Behind him, the village transformed into chaos. People aged decades within seconds. Buildings collapsed. The mountain trembled. And then the fog swallowed everything. By morning, the village was gone to no ruins. No roads. No signs that it ever existed. Only snow. And one final photograph inside Daniel's pocket. A photograph he never remembered taking. IT showed him standing beside the villagers, smiling. Uneged. Years later, Daniel stopped appearing in public. Friends noticed he never seemed older. His face never changed. And in 2024, a traveler claimed to encounter a strange man near an isolated mountain road. The man warned him to turn back before sunset. When the traveler asked his name, the man answered, Daniel. Then he smiled, and the traveler noticed something terrifying. Daniel looked exactly like a photograph from 1998, not a single day older. Maybe the village never disappeared. Maybe it simply moves, waiting, searching for new people, new sacrifices, new faces inside the mountain. If you enjoyed tonight's story, there are more terrifying mysteries waiting. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more cinematic horror documentaries inspired by forgotten legends, unexplained disappearances, and places the world was never meant to find. And before you leave, tell me this: would you trade your future for eternal youth?